88.5 Sufra FM presents Let's Connect every Tuesday from 5:30 p.m. with your host Reniata D'Souza. Also live on Facebook. Be sure to tune in as we present you with updates on local activities, events, businesses, initiatives, and upcoming opportunities for all. Let's connect every Tuesday right here on Sufra FM and online. Don't miss it. Can I go ahead? Welcome to Let's Connect on 88.5 Sufra FM. It is Tuesday, the 4th of April. Welcome to a new month. I do hope that the month has started out in a very, very wonderful way for everybody. So hoping that all is well with you. We want to shout out all the various communities in Sufra tonight. So we want to give a special shout out to Fosset-Jacques and all the communities of Fosset-Jacques, including Esperance, Mini, Moka, and St. Philip, Belvedere, anywhere else that I've forgotten. If you're listening, please send me in the chat if I forget your community. We want to shout out Boisden. We want to give a special shout out to Itangs, to Monlacroix, Fort-Jalib, Chateau Bel-Air. We want to give a special shout out to Sulphur Springs and Diamond. If you're at Margaret Toots, good night to you in Margaret Toots. We want to shout out Zeno. We want to shout out New Development, Palmis. Those of you in Fobenye, good night to you. Special shout out to everybody in the Sufra Town Extension area, Sufra Town Central area. Those of you on Boulevard Street, Wingsville. Those of you on Church Street. Those of you on the Bombay, good night to you. Good night to everybody listening to Let's Connect tonight. So if you are on our live chat, good night to you. We want to make sure that you are able to send in your messages. So send a little hello so that we can see that you're on. Make sure that you can hear us clearly. Let us know if all is coming out sounding well tonight. Okay, we have tonight with First Honorable Emma Hippol. Will be joining us in studio. She'll be coming in a little bit later. So prepare your questions. If you hear anything tonight that you'd like to get clarity on, don't hesitate to give us a message on our Facebook Live. We want to shout out those of you listening on 88.5, those of you in St. Vincent, like Miss Fancy Bowens, always locked on. Thanks for keeping it locked to Let's Connect on 88.5 Sufra FM. We want to give some birthday shout outs tonight. We want to say a very, very happy birthday to Miss Paula Victor. Not sure if you're celebrating today or yesterday or earlier in the week, but we want to give you special birthday greetings coming from your friends in Sufra. We want to say happy birthday as well to Virginia Lewis, also known as Orfana. I hope I said that correctly. Happy birthday to you, whether you celebrated today or you'll be celebrating later in the week or earlier in the week. Happy birthday to you. Hope that you had a wonderful celebration, had some cake and champagne. Hope that both you and Miss Paula, that you had a wonderful birthday. We have some shout outs tonight. We want to give a special shout out to Steffi Prosper, Eldrina Prosper, and Bertie Prosper, also known as Atima. That is coming from Annie Nicholas. We also want to give a shout out to Georgiana Gidhari and Jonathan Abraham of Myers Bridge. So good night to you guys in Myers Bridge as well. Everybody down in Myers Bridge, good night to you. We have sympathy greetings to send out tonight. We want to extend our condolences to the family and friends of Raphael Ephraim, who passed away a few days ago. We wish that the Lord accepts his soul into his embrace. May he rest in peace. We also want to extend condolences to the family and friends of Miss Agatha Phillip, the wife of Gabriel. Our condolences to you, Mr. Gabriel. Condolences to the Phillip family. We want to say condolences, our deepest sympathy going out to you. We have some persons who are sick and shut in, and we want to ask our prayer warriors tonight to keep them in mind. Please light a candle for them. Those of you who are able to go and visit them, Miss Volina, Francis and Albert Salvador, Joseph Alphonse, Norbert Prosper, Electra, Gigi, Miss Gigi Stava, Steva, Ambrose Steva, those living in Castries right now, Vera Pascal at Belvedere, Mary George, also known as Madik of Belvedere, Mary Francois, known as Miss Virgie of Mocha, also Mr. Gabriel Philip, who lost his wife recently at Lacoa. Please, if you can visit him, extend some warm wishes towards him. And also Delicious Paul at Mini. So we want to once again ask for persons to keep them in mind. They are sick, and send prayers for them, light a candle for them if you can, extend a warm embrace to them if you are able to. All right, so once again, you're listening to Let's Connect on 88.5 Soufriere FM. My guest this evening, Honorable Emma Hippol, Parliamentary Representative for Soufriere 4 Saint-Jacques. Right, she is going to be joining us. We have up for discussion tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about the MSME Grant Loan Initiative, as well as a little bit on the youth economy, which opened their office officially in Chaussee Road yesterday. Did their official ribbon cutting and unveiling of their office sign yesterday. We want to extend our wishes that their initiatives are very successful and benefit as many St. Lucians as possible. So we'll be giving you some information tonight. So if you are interested in information on those initiatives, you have any questions, please send them into our Facebook live chat so that we can get your questions answered. We do hope that all the information received tonight will be received with open ears and open hearts. All right. So welcome to Let's Connect, Honorable Emma Hippol. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. We appreciate your attendance with us. We did shout out some of the communities, but if you would like to give any shout outs before we begin.
Thank you, Aniata, and good evening to all our Let's Connect family. I would like to start by wishing all our family members, all constituents, a Holy Week, because we are in Holy Week, and also to wish one and all a really happy Easter. I would want to start with Saint-Jacques. I heard you calling out some of the persons who are not well, but just the entire community of Saint-Jacques, the community of Mini, Saint-Philippe, Lacouan, Belvedere, Mocha. If you go down to Wavenclair, Zeno, new developments, Tongue Extension, Barons Drive, Palmis, Wingsville, Soufriere Town, Market Road, Barons Drive. If we look at Colobet, when we go over to Deville, Etangs, Chateau Bel Air, I think we generally would have Belle Plaine and Belfont. So really is to touch base, to say hello, to say hi, and to connect with one another.
All right, that's right. There was a few communities there that I missed, so thank you for mentioning them.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, Barons Drive. Don't kill me. I forgot Barons Drive tonight for sure.
Mm-hmm. All your Margaret people as well.
I did shout out Margaret Toots. Yes, Margaret Toots has a special place in my heart. We have some people there very devoted to the program, always telling me that they come to the office and let me know that they listen. So yes.
I would also like to take this moment to express condolences again to some of our stalwarts who have passed, and the family of Don Fiodil in Chateau Bel Air, Mr. Casabon,
Mr. Rufus
Casabon up in Ravenclair, Toai, that section there. He has his family in Palmis and as well in Chateau Bel Air. We have as well the family of Clinton Alteno, which is
Mr. Seeley.
which I call Herbert Seeley,
Mm-hmm.
to his son and daughter and extended family, to express our condolences again. Also the family of Miss Patricia as well in Barron's Drive,
Miss Patricia Edgar.
and quite a few of the other persons who have passed. As to, it's always so difficult to lose a loved one. Also, we have the district education officer, Mrs. Shalmine,
Oh yes,
who
her
lost her husband.
Yes,
So
that's
we want
right.
to use that moment to express condolences.
That's right.
Yes. And I also want to congratulate the men. On Palm Sunday, they had a good turnout, which was an indication that the men participated in our Lenten retreat and everything else. So that was a good show for the men. The women did, but the men was a surprise. They came out.
Well, good to know that our men are stepping up. We want them to step up in so many other ways. I was recently listening to a live by Bernard Haynes and he was out with his son and giving some very interesting life lessons and things that he's passing down to his son. And I was commending them that we want more men to follow that sort of line, to take their boys in hand and show them the right path. So it's always wonderful to hear that the men are stepping up. All right. Okay, so tonight, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, I wanted to commend Ministry of Commerce on the MSME loan grant initiative. That is the initiative where you're offering a 70% grant, 30% loan to individuals 41 years to 60 years who have a small, micro or medium business. And we had a meeting a couple Thursdays back in Soufriere. We had about 50 business owners in attendance who were able to get information and were informed that forms were available at the office, as well as assistance in terms of your checklists for what is required, as well as how to go about doing your business plan and so on. So tell us a little bit more about the MSME loan grant initiative from Ministry of Commerce.
Okay. Even before I get into the details, what I would like to find out from you, Raniata, because from that meeting that Thursday, out of the over 50 persons who were present, one person had prepared his business plan. We had about maybe 13 persons who had not registered their business name, and we had asked them to come to your office so that we can facilitate that with the Ministry of Commerce. And I gave them a commitment that I was going to work with the ministry to see how best we could have provided or arranged a program where we could give them support to prepare the business plan.
That's right.
In terms of, so I would like you to say where they are, those persons, the 13 who have to register their businesses, but also to inform those persons who had attended that meeting that we are working with somebody here and the staff of the ministry so that we will have the sessions in Soufriere. So maybe this week is a very short week because it's the week. I need to get a feedback in terms of when the person will be able to facilitate the sessions. And we will be, within this week, we should be able to communicate that to the persons. And I want to take this moment to really encourage them to attend this session so that they could jump that hurdle of preparing that business plan, which is critical for the application to be processed. And to encourage those persons, I'm not sure whether they actually came to you, those persons who have not have their businesses registered, because the ministry agreed to facilitate. So the person should have come to you, and then some emails were supposed to be sent, and a search for the names would have been done even before they actually traveled to Castries. So did that happen?
I can say that one person did come in regards to the business name search. However, I did communicate to every person who was at the meeting, because we got their contact numbers, and I also put all of them in a group chat as well. So I individually sent out the notice of what the information that was received from the Ministry of Commerce in terms of how to go about emailing, and I also informed them that if they needed assistance in that aspect, we would be providing it. But like I said, only one person physically came to the office to me in regards to that, out of the 13 persons who had stated that they are not registered. So only one person came directly to me in regards to that. But I did send out the information both in the group chat and in individual messages to each of those persons, and I did check to make sure that they read the messages. The messages were read, but nobody other than the one individual came to me regarding the name search. So hopefully anybody who is listening, if you know of anybody who is in need, but we will be following up with them again, because I have been sending out messages and nobody has responded. So I'm going to start calling, because we want to make sure that that process gets done. Okay. The information regarding how to go about doing the email, if you need explanations for that, I can explain it to you over the phone as well, but we can also do it for you. We're willing to assist in that aspect. So those of you who need to get your business registered, please do not hesitate to come to the office. In terms of the business plan, the ministry did put out a simplified fact sheet on how to go about the business plan. I did it with somebody in office yesterday. It was completed successfully in less than an hour. So it works. We were able to complete it, to get the financial projections done as well. Okay. So it's able to be done with, and I've shared it as well in the group chat as well, and to the individual as well. But like I said, one person came to me yesterday. We got the business plan done. And I've been assisting other persons in various aspects of that as well. But I did a complete one yesterday. So that is available. So we will be calling the 13 individuals who had not registered, so that we can make sure that they've started that process. But a few persons did reach out to me asking questions. Several people have asked the various questions, verifying what they need, verifying what they're missing from the checklist, because the checklist includes utility bill with your name on it, includes 2 forms of ID. So we did have a few persons who had an issue with the second form of ID. They don't have a second form of ID. So I'm not sure if...
You need to raise that, so I can raise it, so that if it is really a problem, then we can see what other form we can, what we can do.
I was asking Mrs. Innocent whether or not, if for example, if your passport has expired, if it can still be used, because it's more that they need a photo ID. So they might be able to accommodate it if your ID has simply expired. But those who don't have one at all might still have to go through the process of getting their passport or their driver's license to get their second form of ID.
Yeah, but it's something maybe we raise as well at the ministry.
So those were the 3 hurdles so far. It was the business registration, the business plan, and the 2 forms of ID were the biggest hurdles. The utility bill, most persons should have a utility bill with their name on it. So far that has not become an issue. And the invoices for the materials that will be purchased with the grant funds, that some persons are still working on that. So that's some of them are only missing that step to get their invoices in order. Other than that, I feel like we've had a few persons who should have submitted by now, but we will be doing a follow-up before the week is done.
Okay. So back to the initial question you asked in terms of what is the micro, so you can speak on it for persons who have not heard about it. The micro and small enterprise grant fund loan facility is actually a $10 million loan facility that the government of St. Lucia obtained a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank for support to small businesses. And the small business, I know, could be persons who are already in business, as well as persons who want to get into and form a business, to start a business for the first time. The persons who are starting a business for the first time would qualify for a loan grant package of up to $10,000, 7,000 up to 7,000 being a grant, and up to 3,000 being a loan. And then they meet all the requirements are the same in terms of what is needed. Persons with businesses of up to 2 years would qualify for up to $20,000. And there 14,000 up to 14,000 could be a grant, and up to 6,000 a loan. And companies that are in existence for over 2 years could qualify for up to $25,000. And again, 7,500 of that would be a loan, and the balance would be a grant up to that amount. So what it does, it is what is happening, and why the government is responding. The government have had various support facilities for more than that, medium and large businesses. But it's the first time that we are targeting micro and small businesses. We felt as a government, on the campaign trail, we spoke about putting people first. If we look at the manifesto of the St. Lucia Labour Party, we made commitments that we will support the small barber, we will support the small hairdresser, we will support the seamstress, try to get them new equipment, try to get them to upgrade, try to get them to get certified so that they meet international standards. And that is that promise that we are making a reality now with that micro and small loan grant facility. So we are really looking forward to persons throughout St. Lucia to really step up and seize that moment. Technically, the government is giving you some monies, what you call seed monies, because when you interview many of our small business persons, they will always tell you the biggest hurdle is access to finance. There are other incentives by the government, apart from the micro and small. You have the Fiscal Incentive Act, which allows the farmer, which allows a small business person to get incentives being based on the equipments and things like that. They do not pay duty when they import them. That in some cases, based on the nature of the business, they would get a duty of something like a special purpose vehicle, things like that, depending on the nature of the business. And that micro and small is in addition to all of that. Yeah. Okay.
There is a question in the chat regarding the utility bill, if it's not in the name. I do recall that question was asked. I asked that question at Ministry of Commerce last week, Wednesday, and I do believe the response was that whoever's name is on the bill would have to submit a letter and a copy of the ID
to say
that person, verify that person lives in that address. I think there is a avenue for that. I would have to verify exactly if it's an ID or if it's just the letter, but I do believe it is a copy of the ID of the individual whose name is on the bill, as well as a letter from the personal authorization letter to state that yes, so and so resides at this address and this bill is to verify that that sort of situation. So that is definitely something that can be done. Okay, thank you for that question, Miss Hippolyte. Show me I'm not seeing the messages in my chats. Show me the other. I think there was another one. Let me just make sure. Okay, Caroline Bob says, good night, my Suffer family and friends. Watching from Castries. God's continued blessings on my Prime Minister, or unless she means you, but thanks for all your hard work. She might be referring to you, parliamentary rep. Okay, there's another one from As the DR, if the form can be made simple, which form?
Even the application form?
The application, I think the application form is quite simple. The application form is very simple. I don't think there's anything that needs to be simplified in the form.
But you know what if that person is having a challenge, then she needs to say what the challenge is,
Yes.
and we can get somebody to assist. But the
Okay.
form is really
I think the form is rather simple. So if you're having an issue with the form, maybe there's something you're not understanding in the form, please visit us at the office. We'll do our best to try and alleviate your distress with the form. But I filled out my form. I didn't find anything difficult in it. I think there was an issue some persons were experiencing with the youth economy form. I think the first page of the youth economy forms, in terms of the first set of criteria, it states you need to have graduated from an NSDC program within the last 6 months or 12,
or some training.
some training, or you have to have. But I think there's another line that says that you need to set up a financial consultant meeting with the agency. So I think that's a simple matter of either visiting the youth economy agency at Chaussee Road or calling them or emailing them to set up a meeting, so that you can, and they can just have to put in the date of that meeting in the box. I think that is where it is resolved. So some persons had queried that it asks for NSDC graduation date from your program. So if you had not attended NSDC and don't have a graduation date, lower down in the form it states that you need to have a appointment to speak with the financial advisor at the agency. So you just have to call to set up an appointment and then put in that date. So
Okay.
if that's the form that is giving any issue. Okay? All right. Okay, so like we said earlier, Youth Economy Agency, which was launched a week before the MSME
That's right.
initiative, they officially opened their offices yesterday on Chaussee
on
Road.
Chaussee Road, yes.
And I do recall one of the reasons that they wanted to open it on Chaussee Road is to show that this road is not dangerous. This road is accessible to everybody. And with the youth economy, there is also a grant and a loan initiative, although I'm not too familiar with the requirements for the loan. But the grant, you can get up to $5,000. And the form is online. You don't have to print out anything. The form is on www.youtheconomy.lc. You can find the form there. You'll search for, just scroll down. It's best to open it on a computer. If you're having issues, some persons are having issues with their phones, it is better to open it with a computer. So if you do not have access to a computer, we are willing to do that for you as well at the office. I've filled out a few forms for persons, and then you are required to submit via email your CV or bio or resume, as well as a copy of or photo of your ID front and back, and the invoices for the items you want to purchase with the grant money. So that is the 3 things you need to attach via email. I believe the email address is info@youtheconomy.lc. That is the information you are required to submit via email, but you fill out the form right there on the website, which we can do for you if you do not have access to a computer. So youth economy, very simple process. You don't need to have the business plan. If you have one, it's a plus, but you don't need to have it to submit your application for youth economy, and that's for persons who are between the ages of 18 and 35. Okay, so Mr. Conrad is asking what happens if a young person has no qualifications. I don't believe there is any requirement for qualifications.
No.
It does not. All it's requiring is for you to fill out the form. It does not even ask you about your educational background. That is not a requirement. So young persons don't have to worry about CXCs or any type of certificate or qualification to apply for this. Okay. All right. I do appreciate all the questions tonight. I am so happy to see that our persons are participating tonight. I want to say good night to those of you in the chat once again. Miss Prosper, Miss Caroline Bob, Mr. Conrad, Mr. Jean, thanks so very much for joining us on Let's Connect, and thank you very much for participating in the chat. There is a lot of persons who never went to school and can do business. That's right, that is correct. There are persons who did not go to school, but they have a business mind.
No,
So,
but
yes,
also,
you don't need to,
also
yeah.
a requirement both for the youth economy and for the micro and small. We have some hand holding. We are going to walk them through it. After they get the loan or the grant or both, we are not just dropping them. Most times they have somebody assigned to them to help them through.
I think one of the requirements for MSME is that you agree to participate in training, to accept the initiative. You have to be able to say, yes, I will be taking the courses you are offering and that sort of thing.
After we launched the MSME last week, we launched the e-commerce program. There was another program, and that program is more or less to expose person to ease of doing
business online and that sort of thing.
Right.
Yes, there was a Zoom meeting last week, Thursday, I believe it was. Yes, and those who did not attend in person were able to attend via Zoom, like myself, and they still even emailed a copy of the entire thing, and that you were able to download. So I have downloaded the entire process that they recorded for the day.
Okay.
So they definitely made sure that persons are aware of the e-commerce initiatives that are available to them as well. Okay. And thank you for the questions and for the comments in the chat once again. So please do not hesitate. We're paying attention. So if you have anything else you'd like to ask Honorable Emma Hippol tonight, feel free. Okay.
And I think tonight is to encourage, because especially I've been saying that all the time, is to encourage persons to apply. A lot of people are in need of the support, and they seem to be afraid to take that bold step to apply. So literally you have to go out and almost pull people out of the shell to say, this is an opportunity for you.
I know almost every person I meet now, that's the conversation I start having with persons. Are you in business? Are you interested in business? You there's this initiative. How old are you? That's the kind of conversations I've been having a lot with persons nowadays, asking them, okay, your age, you qualify here, you can do this, you can do that.
What are the skill sets that you have?
Yeah, I like the tagline for youth economy: turn your hobbies into your business. So, I think someone was asking one of the directors, what if you don't have a business, but you want to be a footballer and you just need a pair of football boots? The youth economy can help with that.
Yeah, they do, yes.
So it's not necessarily that you have to have a business. If you're a young person between the age of 18 and 35 and there's something you're passionate about and you just need a little bit of seed funding, up to no more than $5,000, if $1,000 can help you, if $2,000, $3,000, and you just need to apply. Or you can go down to the office and get assistance. Sit down with them and ask them, can you help me with this? I want to do this. This is what I would like to do. I want some help with that. Can you, if it's $500 that would help push you in that direction, the youth economy can assist you with that. So do not hesitate. Those of you listening and you know of a person who can use this, go and tell them about it. Information is readily available whenever you need it. Okay, so we want to encourage our young persons, anybody between the age of 18 to 60 right now, there is something here for you that can assist you. Okay, don't allow lack of a passport or expired passport or lack of a piece of equipment, lack of a piece of paperwork. If you cannot read or write, do not let these things deter you. There is assistance for you. Someone is asking, can someone who has a job apply for the loan grant? Of course.
Yes, but are you going to create a business? What are the skill sets you have?
Yeah, there's nothing. Your job should not prevent you from applying to start your business. People have businesses and jobs. I have a job and I have a business. There's nothing wrong with that. So yes. Right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Joseph, for that question. Okay. I'm so loving the participation in the chat tonight. That means persons are interested. The same way I was so shocked to see so many persons showed up at the meeting.
That's right.
I feel like that's an indication that our people have an interest, and hopefully that means that all of them are going to be applying.
I'm really hoping. Yes. I am really hoping that the 50 who turn out again to prepare the business plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've made the process as simple as possible in terms of getting your registration done. For those of you who are unaware of the steps of registration, you need to first do your business name search. You can now do so via email. We can provide you with the details on how to do that. Then when you receive the response for your business name search, then you visit the SEDU office at Ministry of Commerce. There's some more documents you will be receiving that you need to get signed via JP. you need to get a $2.50 stamp, and you return those documents to the here in our house, the agency where you get the name search done. You return it there with $125, and that is the process. You get your business registered, and you receive your business certificate within a few days, and that is that process done. Simple as that. So the business name search process is very simple. The MSME grant loan initiative application is as simple as we can make it, and like I said, all the assistance that you will need is readily available. Okay, awesome. All right, so Honorable Emma Hippolyte, we wanted to quickly touch base with the STEP program, which was completed last week. What can you tell us about STEP
so
this time around?
It was what you call, somebody was saying it was a mini step. It was it was a quick step because of Easter. We Prime Minister last week realized that it was Easter, and maybe we should do a very quick step to assist some persons, to give them something for the Easter. We ended up with about maybe 164 persons in the STEP program, based on the Friday when we looked at it. And what we did this time, we went a little different. We wanted to focus on clearing that area between Stonefield down to Church Street. That section when you getting into Soufrière to open up the vista there, because driving in there it was all bush. You're not seeing Soufrière town, you're not seeing the bay, the attraction of the bay. So we had some persons with chainsaws trying to open up this area. I've not been here today because I only arrived this evening, but when I went in on Saturday, they started, but they had quite a bit to do there. But I believe that based on some people call asking them to do other things, so I realized that maybe they were effective in that area. Also, what we did, which was a little different, was that we had the persons who are responsible for the road caretaker programs, both the main roads and the inner roads. The main roads, they had that program ceased around October. So I felt it was maybe a good gesture to bring those persons in to work the STEP, because they had no income from October. So I think it's 10 persons who are managing the main road between Katchime down to Soufrière and Soufrière up to Myers Bridge. So we got those persons working, and for the first time, the second part of the road caretaker program, that the persons who were assigned to the inner roads of Fauchajacques, Belle Plaine, Chateau Belle, and so on, these people actually, that program never kicked off. And those persons, some of them had made an investment, whether in purchasing a weed eater or so on. I felt it was a moment to give them a chance to work. So we used 23 of those, because 23 of those persons that were assigned those legal contracts, so they worked using their weed eaters on the program. And then with the balance of the funds, we had some people down in, we had one team at the Chateau Bel Air area. We had a team in town. We had a team at Margretwood and Fongelib. So that ended. Some persons work up to, I think, Monday. Because it started on Tuesday, so it's completed. What impact? As I was driving down, I was still not happy with what I was seeing in the main road, from Katchime down to Soufrière, especially with our weed eating. I am not happy with the work that we are doing. Somehow, to me, the persons are not understanding that your work says a lot about you. That we need to have pride in end product. And it's something that I believe we have to work on, not only for Soufrière, but throughout the country. In some areas, you can see, as soon as you pass, that was a nice step. You could see the place was properly, the work was properly done, neat, tidy, and so on. In some places, you could see that it was not done with the type of love and attention that you expect. Because, we need to beautify our country, not only for our visitors, but also for ourselves. When we drive, you need to be able to take pride in our surroundings. And that's a challenge I think we're having. For persons to keep the grass clean, do not litter, plant flowers. I think we're missing that, and it's something I really, really would like to see in Soufrière. If we transform it to plant flowers everywhere.
I agree with that. 100%. Yeah. A few persons said good vibes, good job with the clearing. Bravo, you can see the beauty from Stonefield. Good job, Minister. So that area, like you were saying, on that side was done really well. So bravo to the team who took that initiative on that side. So definitely a good job on that area. Okay.
So we'll continue to see how best we can turn the step into a real beautification program. We really need to do that. So I need to thank the coordinator. Well, we had a coordinator, and then you had team foremen or supervisors. So, in fact, we are paying tomorrow, God willing. So persons can come in from around 9 o'clock.
I beg. I beg, please. Please do not stress us out tomorrow. Please, I beg, I humbly ask. Do not stress the office out tomorrow, but you will get paid tomorrow. Just bear patience, single file, one at a time. Everybody will get their money. Just bear little patience, please. No noise at the door.
Okay, so that is the first step. I would like to say something about, we had our debate on the estimate of revenue and expenditure. I believe that went well. We have the policy debate is later on in April, around the 26th, I think, sometime around that time. We have that part of it. But for the estimate, as we all know, $1.8 billion. That is what is there. The focus is on health and national security. So a lot of effort. And what I want to say is when you have the effort on national security, then it takes away from other things that we want to do. But we cannot implement programs if we do not have peace and quiet in the country. So because it threatens everything else. It threatens our economy when we have gunshots and people are afraid. When you see what is happening in Beaufort,
businesses don't want to
open. People are afraid to get out. We cannot run any country like that. And as a government, we had to take steps to control that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I saw some footage of the increased police presence in some of the streets.
Yes.
And I think persons are appreciative. They might not, maybe not everybody might say so, but I think the appreciation for it is there. So kudos to our Prime Minister and our Cabinet of Ministers on these initiatives that have been implemented. We definitely welcome it, for sure.
So I spoke a bit on our constituency work in some of the things that we have done, and you may realize that for the past year, the bulk of some of our infrastructural work was focused on Foshajak.
Yes, with the guardrails at the side of the
significant. We felt it was important for us to focus on safety and security. So Foshajak received quite a bit of guardrails. I think we have a few more to install, both in Foshajak, Upper Mocha, that area there, as well as on the Castries Soufrière Road. There are a few more to be installed there, which we'll do later on this month or next month. So we focus quite a bit on security, safety. We focus as well because Foshajak is always an area when we have heavy rains, you have land slippage and so on. We focus quite a bit on drainage in Foshajak, both in Derash and in Foshajak proper. For the Derash area, there are certain drains that are going to come in there, Mini and Derash, and that is going to take place. They should be seeing that coming in. We've done Foshajak drains, Foshajak proper, but some of the additional drains in Mini and Derash will be coming in later this month and in May. We did our painting of the speed bumps, but I'm seeing the paints are almost
it's already wearing out. I don't know if it's the kind of paint.
I don't know.
If it's because we're having increased rainfall.
Yes.
But yeah.
So that's a little concerning to me, but we did pay attention to painting of the speed bumps. We did install a few speed bumps. We have a few others to install. For Bouton community, we are the wooden community center. We have transformed it into a wall structure, and that is just about to be completed. So that we've done for Bouton. For Soufrière proper, what we've done is we've done the bridge.
The footbridge
that was
library.
That was in plywood. We have now put that in what you call this, some steel work took place there, so that is finished. So for constituency projects, we had some 58 small works in total for the year. 30 of them have been completed. One of the things that we're going to do for the Font-Bernier area, that they will see starting this coming closer to the end of the month or so, we are going to renovate the Font-Bernier Park. So that is on. We have 30 of the works completed. We have about 28 ongoing, and out of these 58 small projects, we employed about 220 persons.
Wow.
Yes, so we're able to, that is the constituency work program we did. We did some other small works. We are also going to do some, grading on the Font-Jean-Libre Road, because it is in a poor shape. We would have liked to put it in concrete one time, but the resources is limited there, because when you look at the cost, we cannot do it in this year. So we'll just try to improve that road for them. We have maybe a drain or two coming into new development and Bay Street. So these are the projects coming in, and then what I want to do is to ask persons, like we did the last time, persons listening, if there are small works to be done in their area that I do not know about. I always welcome this information, so you can give them your persons could come into the office with that information.
Also, take note of the office number, which is 731-3234. That is the number for the Soufrière constituency office cell phone and WhatsApp number, 731-3234. We have some suggestions in the chat, Ms. Hippolyte.
Yes.
Mr. Mondesi says we need a cricket ground in Soufrière, also a 25-meter swimming pool. So Ms. Joseph is asking where were we putting the swimming pool, but well, I wouldn't mind a swimming pool there. I wouldn't mind that one for sure.
Well, that conversation that we've been asked to look for the lands for the swimming pool.
Okay.
We've been asked to look, so it's a big challenge for us.
I can't picture where we would put that.
Yeah,
there,
so
but I would love a community swimming pool. I really would.
The cricket grounds It's another big challenge. But in the meantime, what we are doing, we are working with the Youth and Sports Committee here in Soufrière, and they are now completing the practice nets for cricket, which is going to be on the stadium section there.
Okay. Jane Lascari says that the roads in Forbeny are very bad, not with potholes but wells.
With wells?
Wells.
Well, in terms of the potholes, you may recall that at the beginning of the year, we had the pothole crew here in Soufrière. They started the year in Soufrière, and we had a commitment from the ministry that they would not leave Soufrière until their work was done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody started screaming at us because they were there for
so long.
They were there between January and February,
Mm-hmm.
and they did the Fort Saint-Jacques, they did the Diamond Road, and what else they did? They did maybe just 3 main areas,
Mm-hmm.
and did not address the rest. So I'm back in negotiations to see when is the next time they're coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crestland Road was mentioned as well as Belfort.
Yes.
Yes. So, like you just said, we're in
Yeah,
negotiations.
we're in negotiations. All
Okay.
of Wingsville. Wingsville is very bad as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have quite a few things coming into the chat. Okay. So, I think I missed a few just so okay, was swimming pool, Crestland. Okay, Mr. Rufus Andre says we need a wharf in Soufrière. Mr. Andre, you were not present at the Global Ports Holding meeting. There's work coming in terms of the waterfront, the jetties, and all of that.
Yes.
So we're going to be having a boardwalk.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
a big project. Yeah.
A boardwalk will be coming. So that is okay. He says the cemetery has to go as well.
It has to
I don't know
go.
where we're gonna put it though. Where are we putting it? Okay.
We need to improve what it looks like. We need to do a lot more cleaning in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it is it's almost reached its capacity, and we need to identify another space. But that is the challenge we have in Soufrière in terms of access to lands.
Okay. So if you have any suggestions,
Yes,
in
we'll
terms
welcome
of
that.
land for the swimming pool, land for the cricket ground, and land for a new cemetery, please inform us. Okay. There was a comment a little earlier on that was referring once again to the initiatives with the loans and grants. They're asking, is it a guarantee that you're going to get it?
What do you mean by that?
Well,
You have
I think
to apply.
that might be one of the things that's preventing people from applying. They don't think that they're going to get it.
But what do you mean by that?
I don't know.
If you have a good business proposal,
That's what I'm saying. If your
is your business plan that
if
says
it's viable, if it makes sense, if it shows that yes, this business will make you money
Yes.
and this business will do something for you, I think there should
That's
not
what
be any
it
reason
is.
that you don't get it. Okay. I think I got everything. All right. So I do appreciate the conversation in the chat tonight. Thank you so very much to those of you who are in the chat and supplying our commentary. Warden Road is bad. Okay. Anthony Mondesi. Good night to you, Anthony Mondesi. Thank you so very much for joining us on the show. I appreciate you tonight, sir. He says, Honorable Hippolyte, we also need to organize the water taxi operators in an association.
there is an association. It's just that
The
There
water
is-
taxi?
the what do you call them? Boat boys.
Mm. Okay, so the boat boys have an association.
Yeah, we can expand it too because there might be persons doing water taxi that are not part of the boat boys. Maybe
Maybe.
the boat boys are more from Barron's Drive. So,
Okay.
so you put a.
Okay. So we'll have to find
Okay,
out.
one of the things we are trying to do, which is coming up in April, is to form the Vendors Association, officially launch the Vendors Association. So we are doing that for the time being.
Okay. As you said, April.
and
I just
we
remember,
have
it's Youth Month.
well, move is youth, yeah.
That's
It's
true.
the year
It
of
is
the
year
youth,
of the
by-
youth.
and I have been-
2023 is the
I
year
have
of the
asked,
youth.
I have asked our young people. I have asked the members of the association for the work program, so we can sit down and put it together. And you're right, April is Youth Month, and we are.
I know we have a job fair coming up, I think sometime in the end of the month. I'm not sure if it's the 30th or the 31st. There is a job fair being held in Soufrière for youth. So young persons are encouraged to get some more information on that and turn out with your resumes. If you need assistance with your resumes, we can help you with that as well. So bring out your resumes and dress appropriately and come out to the job fair, and hopefully we'll be able to get some movement going in terms of getting some jobs in our community. And I do believe that the St. Lucia Industrial and Small Business Association, SLISBA, has been taking quite a lot of interest in Soufrière as well, and making some things happen. They did a presentation not too long ago for some about 15 small businesses, and they are preparing something for Easter for children between the ages of 3 and 12. There's something happening with that. So a few things happening in terms of this month, but we will see what's going to be coming up in the next few weeks as well. Okay. All right. Jane Lascari says, Honorable Hippolyte, I pray that God gives you long life for you to continue to work for the people of Soufrière. Okay. Thank you. Anthony Mondesi says we need a marketing campaign concerning the youth economy. I think the youth economy has a wonderful campaign. There's videos out, there's a Facebook page, there's a website, www.youtheconomy.lc. There's also a YouTube page. There's step-by-step instructions on how to go about the process of applying on the page. So I don't think they need more marketing. I think our people just need to be more open to taking advantage of these initiatives. I think that's what it is. Yes. Okay. The Vendors Association meeting is on the 12th of April at the primary school at 4 p.m. Thank you, Ms. Prosper. The Vendors Association meeting. So is this open to all vendors, or is it only persons who have indicated interest in joining? Is this for all vendors? Let me know, please. But the meeting is April 12th at the Soufrière Primary School, 4 p.m. Okay. Mr. Gidhari is saying that they need street lamps at Boaden.
So what he needs to do is to send the poll numbers. We have actually sent.
I know we sent quite a few to Lucilec.
Yes, to Lucilec, so he can send his, because we need the polls closest to where you need the lamps.
Okay, so Mr. Gidhari, if you could have the poll numbers sent to our office, or you can WhatsApp it to 731-3234. When you WhatsApp, please send your name and why you're messaging. Some persons just send information to the chat without saying what they're sending it for. So send the message to 731-3234 on WhatsApp with the poll numbers and let me do so. Okay, I do believe he came to the office some time back, so we had sent that to Lucilec. So I think we need to do a follow-up with Lucilec.
Well, yeah, it is taking a little while. Not only Lucilec, it's the Ministry of Infrastructure. You know, it's the responsibilities there's now. So I know they have ordered quite a few lamps, but whatever information came to our office, we have sent it up to the ministry.
Okay. All right. So, clarification: the Vendors Association meeting on the 12th of April is for all vendors. Okay. Honorable, what about allowing a new supermarket chain on island? I don't know if that's in your purview to allow supermarket chains.
It's a business. Persons can come in as long as the supermarket chain would do their own research. But a government is not going to prevent a supermarket chain from coming. A supermarket chain is just going to register a new business and establish itself.
Well, so CPJFN is doing very well. It's just that they don't have many locations on island, but they do have trucks that deliver around the island. But I have been hearing good things about CPJ and their prices and the quality of their products. So he says we need competition.
Yes.
Yes. So. I guess we might need competition, but whether or not the competition is out there and are they fiscally available, fiscally responsible enough to be able to stand up to the competition.
You need a competition. If you need what is going to give Massy competition is a huge chain. It cannot be a small chain because Massy is a regional chain. Yeah.
I can't believe I have to say this, but this is actually 9 o'clock. I did not realize the time had arrived on us. Thank you so very much, Honorable Emma Hippol, for joining us on Let's Connect tonight. Thank you so very much to those of you in the chat. We had quite a lively discussion tonight, and I pray that it continues to be like this. Thank you so very much to all those of you who contributed tonight. Want to encourage all of you to take advantage of the Youth Economy Grant Initiative as well as the MSME Loan Grant Initiative. If you need assistance, you can find us at the Soufrière Constituency Office, also available we're on Facebook at Soufrière Constituency Group, and we're also available on WhatsApp at 731-3234. So thank you so very much for your participation tonight. You've been listening to Let's Connect on 88.5 Soufrière FM. I'm your host, Reniata D'Souza. Honorable, do you have any last minute comments that you'd like to make?
Again, to wish everyone a safe, peaceful, and happy Easter. Remember, it is a very important time in the religious calendar. So take a moment and reflect very deeply. Be grateful to be alive and just see Christ in others.
That's right. Good night to everybody. Thank you so very much. Until next week, Tuesday, once again at 8 p.m. for Let's Connect.